4 years ago, the Levins and Scott Wolfson and other heroes were doing a Halloween show at the Acoustic Cafe, hosted by Barbara Roar, with Gordon on the sound. And on Skylar's keyboard was a rubber rat.
Wait, you have to do it like...
Rubber rat.
Yes.
That's right.
That's it.
The rubber rat became the symbol of our Halloween alliance. And we began to do...
We don't really know why, other than it was just there.
And it was fun, and it bounced and
Jiggled.
jiggled. We were having too good of a time. And we started to have Halloween shows and call ourselves Rubber Rat. And so, this year we present to you the Rubber Rat Show. It's alive. So, we're going to start our portion of the show off with someone you know.
Well, maybe.
Not personally.
I'm making assumptions, but, you know.
We're pretty sure you do.
You might.
Born in Boston, orphaned at 3, moved to Virginia with your new family. You never got along with your adopted dad. Is that why you're such a twisted lad? Did you really pull the teeth out of that girl Bernice? You know that isn't polite. Why must you be such a fright? There's something about that that's not quite right.
Nope.
Lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. Well, down in the catacombs, far, far below, to drink a cask of Amontillado. Surprise your enemy with a bit of villainy. Remind me to never insult your family. After bearing your share of humiliating heart pangs, the king and his men dress up as orangutans. They all come to a fiery end. Remind me to always be nice to your friends. Lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. Well, meanwhile, back in a strange reality, you married your cousin, was it Annabelle Lee? Knew happiness ever so briefly, till she moved to a sepulcher down by the sea. Was it opium or the Inquisition that put you into the pit with the pendulum? Now you're painting her portrait in seaweed and shells, and all we can hear are the bells, 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 bells. Lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. Well, you're locked in your study with your dark feathered buddy. You're drinking your melancholy down to the core. When will you sweep this shadow from the floor? Quoth the raven, nevermore. Well, you've walled up your wife with your old black cat. You have to be a little more careful than that. The old man's eye made you tear him apart. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? It's the beating of his hideous heart. Can you hear it?
Oh, it's scary.
Can you hear it? It's the beating of his hideous heart. Lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. All that gloom finally took its toll. Your final words were, Lord, help my poor soul. Lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, lighten up, Edgar, lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe. Oh, lighten up, Edgar, you're so filled with woe. Everybody knows the poetry and prose of Edgar Allan Poe.
I had a flashback with that telltale heart. I remember that as a kid. That was scary. Just saying.
Do you hear that?
All the time.